What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing a beer from Hoof Hearted Brewing, and they are out of Marengo, Ohio, and this is their Alto Body Experience. So, they're calling this one a double IPA that is brewed with Nelson Cryo, Super Sauvin and Mosaic hops. It comes at 8% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, and this can is just over 1 month old. I want to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and a viewer of the channel, Curtis, for this beer. So big thanks to him. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies he sent my way. And he sent me 7 different beers, and one of them was from Hoof Hearted. I hate saying their fucking name, but I'm really excited to give this one a go. Now, here in the Buffalo, New York area, we occasionally get Hoof Hearted stuff. I haven't seen their stuff like probably in handful of months, and when they do show up, it's usually like a beer or two. So I haven't reviewed a beer from them since early 2020. So we're going on almost like 4.5 years, which is insane. So I'm really excited to get into this one now. This one's Nelson Cryo plus Super Sauvin. Super Sauvin is basically Nelson Sauvin hops blended with Phantasm, which is a thiol derived from Sauvignon Blanc grapes. And Phantasm has, I have a love or hate relationship with that one. I either love it or I hate it, depending on the beer. A lot of times it makes the nose fantastic, but the taste is a bit of a letdown. So we'll see how it is, but you got Nelson Cryo plus Super Sauvin, and then Mosaic. I'm thinking it's going to be heavy on the Nelson influence. But anyway, also the name of this, Alto Body Experience, when I did the unbox, I was like, I didn't get it. And I'm thinking, I'm looking, I really didn't look at the label that much, but saxophone, alto saxophone. And of course, they got a huge saxophone on the label, and they have a bunch of aliens and stuff playing the sax. And yeah, it's Hoof Hearted, and they do a lot of like music related, you know, they make a lot of music related puns and names of their beers and things of that nature. So yeah, this is looking like, you know, your hazy doubles of the world. So we'll do something like that. And yeah, it's an awesome label, honestly. I really like the color scheme, the whole thing. Sweet. So we'll put this over here. Why did it move? I don't know. Yeah, that looks beautiful for a hazy. Has that nice like golden orange color. Very murky and turbid. 2 fingers of this infinitely creamy, like cream-colored head. It is not moving anywhere. It looks fucking fantastic. One of the better looking hazies I've had in a hot minute. It doesn't, you know, look straight like Joe Hopcom, but you know, it has enough of that haziness that you kind of want from a hazy hop-forward beer at this point. Nothing getting through it as far as light is concerned. It just looks absolutely fantastic. In the glass, it's good nose. Yeah. Actually, no. Because, believe it or not, what the fuck? Tons of mixed berry, overripened sweet blueberry and strawberry. Candied berry. How's the Mosaic in the nose doing what it's doing when it's the last hop listed and you got Nelson Cryo and Super Sauvin? I don't know. Ooh. This is a fucking wild nose. I don't know what it just did a complete 180 in a couple sniffs. Now that diesel, this has like a really sweet white grape kind of, like if you were to get like a sweet white wine. Oh yeah. And then there's this like passion fruit and guava kind of note. Yeah, now I get that diesel character. Shout out to Bud. Oh, this is interesting. Why? I can't believe what just happened. It was like, oh yeah, all the mixed berry, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden it was like, nah, man. Here comes that Nelson. Here comes that Super Sauvin. A little bit of like citrus fruit, but it's very minute. This is one of the few hazies I've had in a hot minute where like there's not much citrus character. This is all about that tropical, you know, stone fruit goodness. And again, it's berries. It's, to me, passion fruit and guava. There's a little bit of pineapple, and then like the white grape, white wine diesel thing from Nelson. Maybe even like a lychee too. Dude, this smells fucking awesome. Holy shit. Oh, yeah, I know you're not getting a lot from me just going, oh, yeah, oh, that's great. Listen, I'm trying to figure out what I'm smelling, if there's anything else, and there's really not. It has like a generic dankness. This smells fucking awesome. Let me just say that for like the 33rd time this review. This smells phenomenal. I want to get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again to Curtis. Let's hope it tastes as good as it smells. That is fucking awesome. Oh, there is such a cool, dank, kind of like melon rind, just fruit rind kind of like bitterness, middle to back of my palate. I thought it was just going to be just straight juicy and fruity throughout, but it really helps out to balance this beer to some degree. Anyway, body mouthfeel. Body's like medium body. A bit thin for 8%, and I'm a little disappointed in the body because everything about this screams fantastic, and then the body a little bit thin. The mouthfeel is appropriate though. It's soft, smooth, and creamy, but not like, you know, it's not like a top tier mouthfeel that I've had from other breweries that I've reviewed on the channel recently, but it's a nice mouthfeel. It has a nice mild to moderate carbonation. The body's a little underwhelming, but the fucking taste of this one is what wins me over because it's awesome. A lot of times, I'd say most IPA reviews, I will say, you know, I get a little bit of like the malt character at the forefront, dives underneath the palate, then I start with citrus and then other stuff. I am getting a front to back omnipresent, like, I'll say more of like a bready kind of like grainy malt sweetness. It's not too big, but it's kind of there. Very, very slight. But after that, I really don't get much citrus in here, which is cool because that's not usually what happens. First thing that hits me is sweet, over-ripened, almost crushed pineapple, believe it or not. And I didn't really mention that too much in the nose. I think I mentioned it once. And then after that, I get mixed berry. And in the taste, it's more of like a nondescript red berry. So strawberry, you know, raspberry, maybe even like maybe even more like a blackberry. It doesn't really have that blueberry thing that I was getting more in the nose. It's more like a mixed berry note. Then the passion fruit and guava hit. It's tart, it's slightly acidic feeling, but it just has a characteristic for me of passion fruit real big. And then it finishes with this really nice, crisp white grape, a little bit sweeter, like a sweeter white wine. And then I was talking about how this has nice like rindy bitterness, but it's not, again, it could even be a citrus rind, but it just has, picture a rindy bitterness from a citrus fruit. That's kind of what's left on the back of my palate. There's a little bit of like a dank character, a touch of like a floral aspect, maybe even slightly green, not hop burn or anything, but just like a greenness. This finishes semi to full on dry with a mild to moderate bitterness. So it really helps out the juicy aspect of this because this is juicy pineapple. This is juicy, crisp white grape. And that mixed berry isn't really juicy, but like even like the passion fruit and the guava, just a juicy nature to this one and sweet, but not overly done because it balances out on the back of the palate. 8%. Honestly, because of that body, I would say this is more like 7, you know, max. Can't tell it at all. It's 8% from an alcohol standpoint. No warming in the chest, nothing on the palate. This is fucking great. Pour the rest in. Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, this is one of the most scary drinkable 8% double IPAs I've had in a hot minute. Now listen, I've said that before with triples where I'm like, oh, that drinks like it's 8% or this and that. This literally drinks like a 6.5 to 7% hazy IPA. So I could drink a couple cans of this, I'd be fucking feeling fantastic, and I wouldn't know it. It's really good. Yeah, not much more to say about it. So I have to dock at some points for the body. I think I do because it definitely is noticeable. Now, again, it makes it more drinkable, but it's also not appropriate for the style. But that said, this is fucking great. And I love every second of this, and I got to get my hands on some more Hoof Hearted. I hate saying their name, even though I've said it like 4 or 5 times. I know it's, you know, it's Hoof Hearted. I did in this review, so yay to me. But their beers have always been good from what I've had. Even the handful I've reviewed on the channel, most of them have been good. I remember I had their, someone help me out, what is their single hop series? I forgot. I was like, Everybody Wants Some, and I did the Mosaic, and that was fucking amazing as well. I will say this. This is one of the best hop forward beers, one of the best hop forward double IPAs I've had in a little bit, a couple months at least, maybe even this year. It kind of hits on everything I want out of it. I would think this would be like a 4.7, 4.75 without the body. Got to knock it down a little bit. So I'm going to give Alto Body Experience from Hoof Hearted. I'm going to give this a high 4.5. I'm going to go 4.6. This is fucking phenomenal. This is really, really tasty. And I'm loving every second of it. I know Chris, viewer of the channel, lives in Ohio. I think he's in New York right now. He wants me to come down for their Dragon Saddle Day someday. I would love to make it there at some point. it'd be great to go to Dragon's Saddle Day, but whenever it's in the cards, I would love. I mean, I think they're like 5-6 hours away, so maybe I need to make that happen at some point down the line. But this is fantastic. Price point and fallibility. Yeah, fallibility is my channel. It has a high fallibility, but anyway, price point and availability. This one was $5 a can. It said right here. I took it off. You'll see a little bit of residue, but $5 a can, so $20 a 4-pack. Yeah, that's kind of the going rate, and I'm fine with that. And availability, I have no idea with this one. I don't know from this brewery specifically what their distribution range is. I know we see some drips and drabs again here in Buffalo, New York, but we used to get a lot more of a firmer distribution from them back in the day. Nowadays, it's kind of hit or miss. So I will say this, if you do get their beer and you do see this one on the shelf or in the cooler or wherever, by the time you see this review, it might be more like in the 6 weeks range, maybe something in that realm. I'd still pick it up because I think it's going to hold up for another 2 to 4 weeks easily, maybe even a couple months. Like, it's still very vibrant on the palate. So huge thanks to Curtis for this one. I really do appreciate it, good sir. It was one of 2 IPAs in the box. The other 5 were basically lagers, which was really cool. So I wanted to get to the IPAs first. I don't think you're going to see them in order. Maybe, we'll see. But I did let Curtis know that I was going to review the IPAs first, and that's what I'm doing. So appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. If you have this one, post in the comment section and let me know what you thought about it. Thanks again, Curtis. To the next one. Cheers.